Hey guys, welcome back to Chirping Birds. I'm Reagan,
I'm McKinley.
and it's been a while since we've been here, but we have some changes, and it's because our podcast, where we've been recording before, has not been very good. So we've been trying lots of different things because we're in two different places and very far away now. So we're still making it work. And this is the new format that we're coming up with. So bear with us. But
And
we're
I'm
here.
literally staring at her face as she's talking, and it's so funny. I feel like I'm gonna cackle at everything now. But it's really good. I'm glad we're here. We tried to record this already, and it just did not go very well, but it was really good. So hopefully it ends up going well this time. Ah, we've missed being here. But we've had some life changes, like normal life changes, but life changes nonetheless. So we're here now.
I guess we'll just get into it. Um Stanley Cup Finals happened.
Yes, it did.
Done, they're over. And thank God. Because I was done. I was tired. I didn't want to see the same matchup that we had last year, but it happened. So I just didn't see it. I just didn't watch it. I was also busy. Like, I didn't just not watch it.
No shit
But
work.
I think I moved 14 hours. I started a full time job and I said, I'm tired and I'm going to bed at 5 p.m. So,
Yeah. No, I get it. Like we said in our hot takes video, we really think this season should end in May anyway, so whatever. Here we go. So quick just Stanley Cup final recap for you. Nothing crazy, but just kind of the outcome of each game and the Stanley Cup itself. Um, the Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup final. If you didn't know that, now you do. Panthers in six. So here's how the games worked out. First game, Oilers won 4-3 in overtime period one. Game two, the Panthers won 5-4 in the second overtime. Game three is when things kind of started to get one-sided. The Panthers ended up winning 6-1 in regulation. Game four, the Oilers won 5-4 in the first overtime. Game five, Panthers 5-2 in regulation, and then game six, the Panthers won 5-1 in regulation to win the Stanley Cup. So it was close until it wasn't. And one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was just how nobody really counted the Oilers out because they were down in the first round, pretty well against the Kings. So they're just a team that won a lot of games that nobody thought they were going to win, or maybe not nobody thought they were going to win, but they got into these games and kind of weren't playing too hot, but then they ended up winning them, even though they probably should have lost some of them just because they're a freaking good team. And so we definitely saw that kind of happen throughout the whole playoffs, but then getting to the Stanley Cup Finals, even these games where maybe that's 3-1 to start against the Panthers, nobody was going to count the Oilers out. Um, but they kind of didn't make anything happen. So Panthers won, and Sam Bennett won the Conn Smythe. That's pretty much all
yeah.
I have to say. Um, other than like my other note on here is like it was a fine Stanley Cup final. It was a repeat, obviously. So like some people like Reagan were like, eh. I think some people were also maybe more intrigued, but like a more niche group of people were more intrigued by it just because it was a repeat. So I think for a lot of hockey fans, it was like I really kind of don't want to see this again. But there was also a group of people who were interested in seeing something else happen. I think a lot of people, including myself, really thought the Oilers were going to win this year. Lots of things.
I did think the Oilers had a better chance this year than they did last year.
Yeah.
It was making me nervous because I don't want them to be the ones to break the Canada curse, but it's fine. They didn't. We're good. Even though that meant Florida had to win another
Yeah,
cup.
you want a Vander Kane to break that Canada curse. I just know it. I just know you do.
Heard enough about that man today.
Well, we're in for some more. I
Is
want
that
Chris
next on our
Knoblauch to
notes?
win. It is not next on our notes, but that can segue later. Keep that in the back of your brains.
Okay.
Next on our notes was your little superstition idea. Um, go for it.
I don't even have them pulled out. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, like I said, not a huge Panthers fan, but I have been seeing a lot of their partying and celebrating on Twitter. And it seems from what I can tell that they've been going to a lot of the same clubs and places that they did last year. And I don't know if that's like a superstition thing. They're hoping, I know they're hoping for a three-peat, but I don't know if that's like where they went last year. So they're thinking it's going to bring back good vibes for them or what. I don't know. But apparently they spent $500,000 at one club. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy. And like my note is just like, oh yeah, elbow room, like the classic that they've just been at. And I said this when we tried to record it last time just because I found it funny, but someone like traded out like a jersey swap from like the roof of elbow room or like the balcony with this fan who had an elbow room t-shirt. So this player, I don't even remember who it was, had the elbow room t-shirt on, traded the jersey for the fan. So yeah, it was just funny. Or with the fan. Um yeah.
Multiple players have also bought their jerseys or just Panthers jerseys off of
Yes.
fans that they've seen over the night.
Yeah, and we've destroyed the cup a couple times. Some good little
Twice.
dents in there. I mean, it happens.
Yep. Does it though?
It really shouldn't, but it has been. Colorado dropped it a few times in 22, life goes on. They'll, take a mallet to it and figure it out.
Oh gosh. Okay. Moving on. Um, of course, after every season we have the NHL Awards. This year's a little different. I also did not get to watch that. I was stuck at work, I think, or had something to do. But it was a little different this year. McKinley watched it, so I'm gonna let her talk about that also.
Yes. And I can definitely give a brief overview and then this is like Reagan's forte, like all this event kind of cutesy stuff, and I suck at that, so I'm gonna let her take it away after. Um, So there was no like live show. Like typically it's all the players are at this theater in the crowd sitting there, all the nominees, nobody knows who's won the awards yet. There's a stage, there's like a speaker. They'll call the names of the people who are nominated, show a little video, say who won the award. The recipient will go up, get their award, do a little speech, that whole shebang. That's what we've seen like every year. This year, it was just a TV, like pre-recorded presentation. So the players who were nominated, or not even the players who were nominated, the players who received the awards were surprised with them, just like at the golf course or at a restaurant or whatever with all their families, and their friends and stuff. And so we saw on Instagram or on all medias a couple days before the actual show on TV who received the award. So we knew who got the award. And then there was also the TV show that was like pre-recorded to, show their highlights. And then there was like a speaker in between who kind of introduced everything. So that was my, brief description of that. I don't know. What do you have to add? You have all the fancy fun stuff to add to that.
Yeah, so I work in events, and I actually, for one of my classes this past semester, planned an award show. So then seeing this one compared to literally just what a college class put on was kind of insane. Because if you're already like giving out who the winner is, then what's even the point of having the show, especially if it's the same pre-recorded videos? That's kind of my thought on that. But also at the same time, I get that a lot of hockey fans or just like sports fans in general are older people who maybe don't have the technology to go be or the social media accounts to be watching all of the videos on social media. So I also see that as well, but it's just like so crazy to me that they would do it like that. Like, why would you not want to make it a big production and get all these views and whatever? But maybe that's just me. Um, Also, I did comment on this in like our first episode, I think, our first or second episode, that it was a really good idea for them to combine the awards and the draft last year because it felt like the players wanted to be there so much more. And then like the new players were coming in and they were seeing all of the established players, like the award-winning players at the draft or like that same weekend. And I feel like that, like if I was getting drafted, even though I've probably met some of these guys one off or something, like that's still really cool to like see them on my draft, get advice from them, whatever. Like I was like, that was a really good idea. They should really continue doing that. And then they're changing both the draft and the awards this year. So what do I
Yeah.
know, I guess.
No, I'm with you. I didn't add this earlier, but I will now. It was the whole TV presentation was like literally right before game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final too. So it was like the hour before that game started. I don't know what your opinion is on that, if that makes it better or worse, whatever. But that's how it was formatted. It was literally right before Stanley Cup Final game, so I don't know. But to your point about players kind of not enjoying it that much, I feel like in the past that's something that they did want to change because you could tell that especially like the people who are just nominated and like not winning anything, like if you're nominated for like Hart in the past 2 years with McDavid, you're like, why am I even here, you know? So I feel like a lot of them didn't love that, and the NHL was trying to figure out what to do to like make them enjoy it a little bit more, and maybe that was better this year, but made it worse for everyone else. I don't know. But I agree, like this is not what we can do every single year. Maybe they're just playing around with things to see what's working and what's not working, but I agree that the combined draft and award ceremony that we saw last year was a really cool thing. I feel like it was like a whole production, like you said. I mean, it was so cool at the Sphere and everything too. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, my whole job is literally why should we get these people to give us money to put on this event? So I also think a lot about why, like, what are we doing to get people to this event, even if it's free? That's literally what we're facing right now in my job. So I have so many ideas, but I'm just not going to go on because I know that's not why you're listening. You don't care, whatever.
Super
But
helpful
just
though,
know.
because I am genuinely the single least creative person in the world. I cannot, I just can't. I can't do it. So it's really good that you can.
But speaking of the awards, we'll get off of the show and we'll tell you who actually won and who was up for them. So go ahead. You care a
Okay.
lot about this.
I do really, really like these. They don't even matter really, but I do really like these. I like the trophy cases and stuff. Okay. So, we're gonna start off strong with the Vezina. This is for the best regular season goaltender. The nominees were Connor Hellebuck, Darcy Kemper, and Andrei Vasilevsky, and Connor Hellebuck ended up walking away with it. Um, it's a regular season award. Makes sense. Um, no shade. I promise that. No shade to Connor. We love him. Next up is the Hart, which is the regular season MVP. And I think every single one of these I put the winner first. So I'll still tell you which one the winner is, but I'm pretty sure I listed the winner first on every single one. So for the Hart, we've got Connor Hellebuck, Leon Draisaitl, and Nikita Kucherov, and then the winner was Connor Hellebuck. So he walked away with a few of them here. Next, the lady being for sportsmanship, conduct, and playing ability. Nominees were Anze Kopitar, Braden Point, and Jack Eichel, and then Anze Kopitar ended up winning that one. His video was really cool. His kids are in it, all coloring pictures of the lady being and whatnot. I really like that one. Um, Next, the Norris for the best defenseman. The nominees were Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, and Zach Werenski. Pretty sick trio. Cale Makar was the winner this year. It's his second Norris, yes. Um, Next, the Calder for the Rookie of the Year. Nominees were Lane Hudson, Dustin Wolf, and Macklin Celebrini. Lane Hudson won. Really awesome trio there too. We saw a really good race for that trophy. Then we've got the Ted Lindsay for the most outstanding player. Nominees were Nikita Kucherov, Nathan MacKinnon, and Cale Makar, and Nikita Kucherov won that award. Then the Selkie, which is a really cool, kind of underappreciated award, I feel like. Nominees were Alexander Barkov, Sam Reinhart, and Anthony Cirelli, and Alexander Barkov won. Then the Masterton for perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication. The nominees were Sean Monahan, Gabriel Landeskog, and Marc-Andre Fleury, and Sean Monahan won. His video was also really, really cool. Definitely watch them all. They're all good. If you haven't seen them and you're interested, they're so good. Um, Next, the Maurice Richard, which is the leading regular season goal scorer. These are like just stat awards, not ones that are like, oh, there's nominees and they're presented to you. It's just by the numbers. So this one was Leon Draisaitl. Next, the Art Ross for the most regular season points was Nikita Kucherov. Then the King Clancy for leadership was Alexander Barkov. The Jennings for this is the goalie award for the fewest goals against, and that was Connor Hellebuyck. Then the Mark Messier award for leadership went to Alex Ovechkin. And last, we have a couple of awards for GMs and coaches. So the Jack Adams for the Coach of the Year. The nominees were Spencer Carberry, Martin St. Louis, and then Scott Arniel, and Spencer Carberry won that. And then our GM of the Year was Jim Nill. Thoughts on anything? Mostly so I can take a breath before this next part.
I don't watch any of those players specifically enough to be able
That
to
is
have
not
thoughts on anything.
true. It might
Like
be
I
true.
watched
I'm like scrolling up like, yeah, maybe not.
I don't even watch like one category enough. Like not player specific wise. Like I watch the teams every once in a while, whatever, but I'm not focusing on any of those players specifically whenever I'm watching those teams, I feel like.
I mean, Reagan's a Quinn Hughes watcher for sure, so that counts.
Yeah, I didn't watch them too much this year though.
No, you didn't.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't comment just because I feel like I shouldn't have thoughts.
Okay. That's fine.
Like I feel like that's better than going off and being like, well, let yada 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 and like not actually knowing what I'm talking about, you know?
Okay, my bad. I just needed to breathe for a second. Okay. I swear, like I was like, ugh. Okay, we're gonna go into the all rookie team and then the first and second all-star teams really quick. I'm just gonna rattle them off for you. So I I added their first names so I didn't get confused on which Connor because that was the whole thing. Anyways, all rookie team, we've got Macklin Celebrini, Cutter Goche, Matvey Michkov, Lane Hudson, Denton Matejchuk, and Dustin Wolf. Pretty sick team, if you ask me. Here's where things get interesting. First all-star team, Kyle Connor, Nathan MacKinnon, Nikita Kucherov, Cale Makar, Zach Werenski, and Connor Hellebuyck. The second all-star team, Brandon Hagel, Leon Draisaitl, David Pastrnak, Victor Hedman, Quinn Hughes, and Andrei Vasilevsky. There you go.
And I'm going to point out there's no shade or anything on why we're laughing. We attempted to record this once already and our software that we were using did not work. We got to this point and she only had last names and she said, why did I put Connor instead of McDavid? We had to look it up. It wasn't supposed to be McDavid. It's okay.
So I read it and I was like, they really put Connor McDavid on left wing? And I was like, no, Reagan, I think it's supposed to be Kyle Connor. She looks it up. Surely it's Kyle Connor. I mean, it's not a dig, but it's a little bit of a dig because why is Connor McDavid not on your first All-Star team? Like, are you sick? Like, I don't. That's what that was. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but nothing too bad, I swear.
No.
Yeah. So, moving on. Olympics are next year. Yay. I don't remember where they're happening. We didn't write that down. Do you remember?
I don't either. Actually, I was just thinking, let me look it up.
I only know Salt Lake City is next.
Girl, I have no idea.
Salt Lake City is coming up at some point. It's next or after that. I don't know.
Italy. Milano and Cortina something. Yeah, Milano and Cortina.
In February?
Yes. The 6th to the 22nd. So games on my birthday better happen.
Oh, yeah. We did talk about that. Yeah. Anyway, so all of the hockey teams released their first 6 for their rosters for the Olympics, and most are not a surprise. Do you want to go through them? Do you want me to go through some?
I can do them. I don't care. Unless you think you got a couple of them, I don't care.
Now you just take it.
All right. All right, let's do it. I think I'll be fine. There's a couple in France and Italy that I know and a couple that I don't. So we're gonna just do it.
We apologize for any mispronunciations. She
Yeah.
checked. There just aren't pronunciation guides for some of them.
And I know like most of France and a couple Italy. There's just some that I'm like, I've literally never seen that in my life. So everything else I got. Okay. Starting strong with the United States. We've got Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, Quinn Hughes, and Charlie McAvoy. If you ever want to interject, just let me know. Um, Canada, we've got Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Braden Point, Sam Reinhart, and Cale Makar. Sweden, we've got Gabriel Landeskog, Adrian Kempe, Lucas Raymond, William Nylander, Rasmus Dahlin, and Victor Hedman.
And Jesper Bratt coming soon. Don't worry. He'll be there.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
He better.
No, I'm sure he will be. I mean, there are a lot of Swedish players, but yeah.
Yeah.
Finland, Sebastian Aho, Alexander Barkov, Mikko Rantanen, Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, and Jose Saros. For the Czechs, we've got Martin Necas, Andre Palat, David Pastrnak, Pavel Zacha, Radko Gudas, and Lukáš Dostal. Slovakia is next. We've got Juraj Slafkovsky, Martin Pospisil, Tomas Tatar, Eric Chernak, Martin Ferivari, and Simon Nemec. And then my phone's doing something weird, guys. Sorry. It's like scrolling. I have to like scroll like this, or it like comes down. I'm like, no. Switzerland, Kevin Fiala, Nico Hischier, Timo Meyer, Nino Niederreiter, Roman Josi, and Jonas Siegenthaler. Lots of Devils on there, just for all y'all.
There's been lots of doubles in general, honestly. Like, I'm loving it.
Yeah, for sure. Germany, we've got Leon Draisaitl, Lucas Reichel, Nico Sturm, Tim Stutzla, Moritz Seider, and Philip Grubauer. I always just call him Mo. When I
Yeah.
was typing that in earlier, I was like Moritz. Like
I did that
never
earlier too.
say
I was
that.
like, wait, how do you even spell his full name out?
Seider.
I always just say Mo.
I always do too. For Denmark, we've got Oliver Bjorkstrand, Nikolai Ehlers, Lars Eller, Jonas Ronberg. Yeah, I think it's Jesper Jensen, but it's Danish, so Jesper. I don't know. And then Frederick Anderson, Lavia, Rodrigo Abels, Teddy Bluger, Zemgus Girgensons, Uvis Balinskis, Elvis Merzlikins, and Archer Shilovs. France, we've got Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, Jordan Perret, Alexander Texier, Johan Ayuvitu, Jules Bosch, and Hugo Gallet. And then Italy, we've got Diego Costner, Daniel Mantenuto, Tommy Perdeller, Luca Zanata, Thomas Larkin, and Damian Clara. Perdeller's actually sick. He's like the only Italian player to have ever been in like the OHL or something. Not ever, but like right now. He's in the O, so that's kind of sick.
I realized I was like half zoned out. I was like, I'm just staring at the screen.
Maybe I don't think it was ever, but yes, he's maybe it literally is ever. I don't know. He's Italian and he's in the O, which is sick. So there you go.
And you did great on the pronunciations. I would have not
Thanks.
done that. Okay,
I
yay!
think they're 90% of the way there. Let's hope. Settle for the A-.
You will be commenting on all of our Olympic stuff.
Woo!
Okay, but last piece of information before we get to some other stuff. Trades. The season is over, which means people are moving.
It's just not real. Like I'm looking
And
at this
people
first line.
are moving.
I'm looking at this first line and it's not real. Like it is, but it's not.
To quote a tweet that I saw, people have been traded that I never been traded before.
This is not a lie.
No, I just think it's so hilarious because it's like, what do you mean they traded that? Yeah. Yeah, people have been traded that ain't never been traded before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Trevor
tell us
Zegras
what
is going
people.
to Philadelphia, guys. Trevor Zegras is going to Philadelphia Flyers for Ryan Poehling and a 2025 45th pick and 2026 fourth round pick.
Yeah, a second and a fourth.
Yeah,
And Ryan
yeah, that
Poehling.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they
very
please?
normal. Very normal about that. I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
I'll have to dust off that Zegers jersey that I've got in my closet. You know, it's got the 11 on it and everything. It's great.
Well, he's not 11 anymore.
Exactly.
He's back to his rookie number, 46.
Thank God.
In other, we had a duo reunite, and now we're having a duo break apart because Mason Marchment is going to Seattle in return for a 2025 fourth round pick and a 2026 third round pick to Dallas. So,
yeah. It's crazy because once again, like we're just seeing players get valued and it's more interesting than anything. Zegras is also interesting because obviously he wasn't traded at like a high point in his career. So this could totally be good for him. I don't know. We'll see.
We also had Eric Holla go to the Predators for Jeremy is it Hansel or Hansel? However you say it.
Hansel.
I should have looked at pronunciations before this as well. And a 2025 fourth round pick. I feel like at this point in time too, so many people are going just for picks because the draft is literally like days away. And I feel like those are much more valued right now than they are at any other time during the season. So you see way more people being traded for solely picks.
Definitely.
Yeah. Which is crazy to me, but whatever. If you ever saw me get traded for a fourth round pick.
Love Eric Holla. We both love Eric Holla. She was really sad to see him go on the Devils, so we're gonna have to see him in Nashville.
Yeah. I would love to go back to Nashville for multiple reasons, and now that's just another one.
Yeah.
Chris Kreider and a 2025 fourth round pick went to the Ducks for Carey Terrence and a 2025 third round pick. And as we brought up earlier, Evander Kane is going to the Canucks for Ottawa's 2025 fourth round pick.
Yep. Good old cap space. Good old Edmonton there clearing that cap space out.
Yeah. Haven't fully had time to comprehend that one yet because it's been a busy day for me, but
well, and when you look at these, like these are pretty notable guys. Like obviously we like Zegras, we like Marchment, we really like Holla. I'm a big Carey Terrence fan. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, he hasn't played a game.
Yeah, these were only the big trades, by the way. This isn't a complete list. We just picked out the ones that you probably already know about, but should be brought up. So crazy, but everybody's got picks because here comes the draft. This, Thursday, Friday? Saturday.
27th and 28th. Yes.
Friday, Saturday.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to be at the lake and I'm having people down there. I'm going to force everyone to sit down and watch it. Not really. But I will be making sure that I watch the first round. So you go ahead and take this part away. Oh, you're good.
My job is putting on a concert tomorrow, which is Thursday, and on Saturday. So I was like, which day is the first round on again? And am I going to be able to at least listen? I'm scared. I don't know. But round one is going to be on June 27th, Friday. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Rounds 2 through 7 are going to be on Saturday, starting at noon Eastern on NHL Network and ESPN Plus. This year it's in Los Angeles, Peacock Theater, and it is a little different from drafts in the past. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I guess we're going to have to see how it goes down first before I make any formal decisions. But to me, it seems like we are still going in the backwards direction from what we have done in previous years. But what's different? I got to make my screen a little bigger. Hold on.
You're good. I'm going to let Reagan take all this away, and then I'll yap.
Yeah, she'll come
The
back.
The floor is yours.
What's different from previous years is that team executives, coaches, and scouts will not be at the draft physically. They're going to have a central location in their home market or place of their choosing. Most people are going to be wherever they conduct their daily business at, which seems odd, does it not? It seems like they should be there. But
it's just so iconic that they're all on the draft floor. Ugh.
Yeah. Who knows? Are they going to have cameras on them? Like, are we still going to be able to see how they're working? Like, how are they going to be drafting up big deals if they can't just walk over to somebody else's table and be like, so, hear me out? But
yeah, when you see when you see the GM pop up on your phone, like, it's just
okay, yeah, crazy. But basically, the NHL is inviting the top 50 prospects, which is going to be based off of their final rankings from the NHL Central Scouting. Other prospects are allowed to attend, but they are not formally invited, which also seems so crazy. I'm not going if I'm not invited, personally. But I mean, that's just me.
You're like besties with who's gonna be like the first pick. Like, that's kind of fun, right?
True.
But like, that's just like a support thing. Like, you're not gonna go to be like, oh, what if I sneak in at pick 49? Like, it's probably not gonna happen. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Then it does, and you're not there, and you're like, well, what the hell?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So you're probably wondering who's going to be announcing the picks since nobody's going to be there. Commissioner Gary Bettman has number 1. He's announcing the first overall. And then the remaining 31 picks in the first round are going to be announced by special guests, such as celebrities with a tie to the team, current players, or former players from the team making picks, which, okay, great, but like we've already been doing that. Not every time, obviously, but like last year, Celine Dion literally made a pick. Like, we've been doing that. It's
and I
nothing
feel like
new.
all 31 is draining.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make it cool and cutesy anymore. It makes it everybody has it. You know?
Especially if there's only like 75-ish draft picks there. Who are you putting on a performance for?
Yeah.
They're also, the league will be inviting 25 players from the NHL quarter century team to attend the draft, and they're hoping that most accept the invitation. Wording it that way in an article, because that is word for word the article that I read, it's kind of crazy. Also, why are you inviting them to the draft and not the awards?
Yeah, I'm there too, just because, like, if you're on the quarter century team, don't you want to, like, play some golf with, like, your grandkids? Like, I don't know, like, is the NHL draft really your thing anymore? I don't know.
They've been there, they've done that.
Right. It's cool. It's like a cool idea, but I don't know how that's gonna pan out.
It's a cool thing for the 50 prospects that are going to be there, maybe.
Right.
Another quote from the article: they want there to be some anticipation when you're watching who is going to come out and make the next selection, which, like I said, we've already had. Not every time, of course, but like you never know for sure if it's going to be the GM coming out or if it's going to be some wrestling announcer making your draft pick. I don't remember his name, but
Michael
I will never
Buffer.
forget
It
it.
was sick.
Yeah, I will literally never forget that draft pick. That's my favorite.
Jet Luchenko. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So once a player is selected, they go on stage, they get their jersey, their hat, take pictures. Then they're going to walk into a virtual reality room, and it's going to have a 360 camera that will pick up the draft pick, the prospect, and they're going to be able to virtually meet and talk with the team representatives that are back home. So once again,
Why?
what's the point of that? Like, I get the point of it, but like, why are we not just having them there?
Yeah.
Also, I guess they weren't sure in this article because there could be a reporter in that room, and the conversation between the player and his new team will likely be part of the television broadcast, but we don't know for sure. So
It's probably like replacing like all I remember is like Artem Levchinov sitting on the couch.
yeah,
I like to the side of the stage with the reporter. I don't know if it was Kaplan or who it was, but anyways, yeah, I think it was Leah Hextall actually. Anyways, they're sitting there interviewing whatever. I don't know if that's a replacement for that because you can't interview. I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's replacing, but it's just so why? Like, I'm just like, why? Because here's the next thing. The NHL is asking each team to have at least one representative at the draft to help coordinate the flow of information between the draft pick and everybody at home. Why? Why?
If you're doing that, like I feel like you have to include
Just bring everybody.
right.
Um, but yeah, teams are welcome to be there for the draft, but they will not have a reserved space. So
Can watch it on the outside.
yeah, that's the differences. And as you can tell, we are not fans. But we'll see how it goes, I guess. And we'll
They could
report back.
shock us all. Yeah, maybe it's the greatest thing we've ever seen in our life. I don't know. But that's on paper, there's definitely better years, I would say.
Yeah. Um yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm one to always be like, don't get stuck in your ways, always bring in new ideas, but at the same time, don't bring in new bad ideas.
Bring in so many ideas as long as they're really good, please.
Bring in so many ideas that you know which ones are the bad ones and you can throw away.
Yeah.
You
I
have
know
to
that's
you have to know which ones
so true.
just shouldn't even be attempted, and then if you have to ask, you probably shouldn't do it. But once again, I could be shocked. I could think this is the greatest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. The only thing that I do think has the ability to do that is the 360 camera, just because those do intrigue me quite a bit in general.
I can't
But
even
we'll
like
see.
think of what that would look like in my head, so I'm like so curious.
Oh, we had one at our award show.
Oh, it's that. Like the wedding thing that's like, woo, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait,
It's
okay,
probably going to be
cool.
different. That's probably just like how they're describing it. Like, it's probably going to be a little different. I don't really know. But
That's kind of
if it
sick.
is,
I mean, I feel like why you doing all that just to get facial recognition, but like
yeah,
it's
that's
kind
the
of
thing.
sick.
Like, why would they need a 360 camera like that? But I don't know. Maybe I'm picturing the wrong thing too.
Watch it just be like this. Go ahead.
Maybe it's just gonna be like a 360 like screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they step into this spot and it scans them completely. So it's like, oh, Michael Misa. Like I don't know.
Like a hologram?
I don't know. Not a hologram, but like you know the things at the airport where you go like this, like the metal detector?
The
Something
TSA.
something like that where it literally scans you, but through AI facial recognition and like whatever, it's like, oh, this is who this is. here's your GM. Like, I don't know. Just thinking here.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
I don't know either. None of it makes sense, so I guess we'll see in 2 days.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have that for rounds 2 through 7?
I don't think so
Okay.
because they go too fast at that point.
Yeah.
Do they even like meet with rounds 2 through 7 usually? Like, do they have
Like their
time to
little
do that?
couch meetings?
No. Well, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out what nobody knows what's going on, so.
We'll find out. I'm sure there's gonna be TikTok behind the scenes content too,
Yeah.
if you can find it. Somebody out there is gonna post it, whether it's mainstream NHL TikTok or some random employee at the Peacock Theater. You just gotta find it.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
out there.
So anyway, now that we've talked about the differences, I'm gonna stop talking so McKinley can start talking again. And she is going to give you another mock draft like we did last year. And we're going to see if the Ducks stay in their lane or not.
It's a doozy, guys. It's a really hard one. Last year was not that hard. But then of course Anaheim picked so early and just messed the whole thing up. So it's hard. This is a hard one. No one knows what's going on, and I really kind of like that. I've been through scouting reports on scouting reports and so many different people's mock drafts. I haven't seen one that's identical to this one. The first half of it is pretty similar to one that I saw. But let's see what happens, I guess. There's so much of this that I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna go back and be like, I actually think this is really viable, or this could happen, and then this too. So we'll see if any of that's even right at all. But we're gonna start off with pick number 1. The New York Islanders have this pick, and I have them selecting Matthew Schaefer, the left-handed defenseman, from Ontario, who currently plays for the Erie Otters. He is 6'2", 186, so good size defenseman. Just some notes here. I am just genuinely so happy for the Islanders when that pick was revealed at the what's that called? When they
Draft.
flipped the
Sorry.
picks. No.
Yes, it is. It's the
The
draft lottery.
lottery. Oh, I thought you just said draft. I was like, no. I was like, it's like a slot machine. Yeah, okay. When the picks were revealed at the lottery and I saw the Islanders logo, I was really excited just because I feel like they are going to get a great piece no matter what. And they are a team that has just had so many long, grueling, awful contracts of depreciating assets for years with no early picks. So I really feel like this is what they needed to kind of jumpstart that winning roster mode. Not saying they're going to be good next year, but I think this is the step in the right direction, combined with some other moves that maybe get rid of some of those more old, expensive guys. So obviously Matthew Schaefer has been ranked number 1. It's likely he's going to go in the first spot. He's big, competitive, really good mindset from what I've heard. He's got pretty good hockey IQ. He's always in a good spot on the ice. He can adapt to any kind of flow of the game, anything that's going on. He can read really well. He's really good at stopping plays in the neutral zone, can maintain really good control, very speedy, two-way guy. So I think that is the best available player right here. And I think that that's who the Islanders will select. And pretty much everything that I've seen has him going there. So we will see, but that's what I have right now. Um, Next at number 2 overall, we've got the San Jose Sharks pick, and I have them choosing Michael Misa, who's a center left wing. He's from Ontario. He currently plays for the Saginaw Spirit, and he is 6'1", 205. Notes on him: great scorer and playmaker. He's very aware, positions himself very accurately, strong on the forecheck, good skater, really explosive, good edges. Very much someone who's always anticipating plays, reading the ice well. I personally would love for him to be a Blackhawk. I would, please, 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 Kyle Davidson, please. I would love for this to happen. Um, he makes sense as a center left wing also for the Sharks. Obviously, if they throw Smith on the wing, like they have been doing, but I do think that he's going to eventually kind of get some more reps as a centerman. So this would be a good pick no matter where you put Will Smith. Obviously, he'd be great with Bedard as well, but I have more on that later. Next, pick number 3 belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks. And I have them taking Anton Frendell, who's another center left wing. He's Swedish. He's in the top Swedish league right now. He's 6'1", 184. Great hands and great shots. I think because I think Misa is going to, I have him going here. He is very much like an ankle breaking forward, beats the D really, really cleanly. I think he makes sense as a center or wing for Bedard, or if we started another line, that would be nice. I obviously the Hawks have to take a forward. We used our defenseman pick last year, and since this is a forward center heavy draft, like we really need to pick that forward. So I'm sure that no matter what happens, a forward will be who Kyle Davidson goes home with. um, so Frendell here's great. I would also really like to see James Higgins here, but I'm trying to be like so unbiased since it's my team. So that's why I have Frendell right now. But I could also see Frendell realistically dropping from to like 4 to 5. We'll get into James Higgins in just a second. For now, I've got Frendell of the Hawks at 3. Um, pick 4, it's the Utah Mammoth. I'm not used to saying that yet. Um, I have um I have Caleb Denoye. He's a center. He's from Quebec, and he currently plays for the Moncton Wildcats. He's 6'2", 172, really good playmaker, really good goal scorer, very reliable with a good hockey IQ. He sees the game in a very seamless way. He was actually the QMJHL playoff MVP, really good in all zones, and I think that he's super hard to predict on the draft board because I have seen so many people put him at 3 to Chicago or in this spot, even at 5. So just another really hard one. I think there are so many centers just throughout the middle of this top 10, and it's just really hard to place them all because you kind of have to watch them each individually and how they play and how they interact with people in order to make a educated guess as to where they're going to go because they're all very similar players. Not similar, but they're all centers and wings, so they're going to be kind of similar players. So, leading us into pick number 5 to the Nashville Predators. This is where I have James Higgins going. He's a center from the U.S., from New York, and he was just playing at Boston College. He's 5'11", 185. I have him as the most unpredictable player in this draft, not in terms of hockey ability, but I just don't know where he's going to go. I have seen him go in mocks at 1, at 5, at 10, at 7, at 3. It's nuts. So I think he's truly the best playmaker in this draft, and he's who I would really love to be a Hawk if I were to just randomly pick someone off the draft board that's not Michael Misa. Um, but he's super speedy. I think he would be a great addition to Nashville. Can score goals. He's not a massive guy, but I think it's been proven that, 5'11" forwards can be totally fine in this league. He still brings a good physical presence despite that size, and he doesn't play scared. I think he's a great player. He's definitely a true, like, college hockey guy. Big fan there. Um, Leading us into number 6 overall to the Philadelphia Flyers, I have them selecting Brady Martin. He's a center from Ontario, and he currently plays for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. He's 6'0", 187. And I have him written as just a safe pick. I think he's the best player available if the top 5 goes how I have them in any order. I think he's got a really good compete level, great two-way player, great skating, great shooting, good little wrist shot. I don't see him dropping too low in this draft. Next, at 7th overall to the Boston Bruins, we've got Porter Martone. He is also from Ontario. Lots of Ontario players in this draft. He this season played on the Brampton Steelheads. I realize I've been saying currently playing that nobody's currently playing. He just got done playing on Brampton Steelheads. He's a right wing. I don't know if I already said that. He's 6'3", 205, and I really know that this team is desperate for a one center, but at 7, it's kind of difficult. If they can't get Frendell, Misa, Denoye, this might be where they need to go. I think they have the option of O'Brien as well, and I could see this pick and the next pick that I have switched, and I'll just tell you my next pick is O'Brien, so I could see O'Brien to the Bruins and Porter Martone to the Kraken. But we'll see, I guess we'll know soon enough. Notes on him, really good passer, playmaker, powerful shot, really good skater. He's a big physical presence. So we'll see what happens. As I said, number 8 overall to the Seattle Kraken, I had Jake O'Brien. Also from Ontario, just got done playing with the Brantford Bulldogs. He is a 6'2", 170-pound center. Good passer and playmaker, can handle the puck really well, has good vision, and kind of creates lanes out of nothing. I could see a case for him not going in this spot because of Seattle's young centerman that they already kind of have. So Porter Martone, who is a right wing going in this spot, could make sense for that franchise. I think it is viable that O'Brien goes here though too, just because there's a lot of uncertainty around Shane Wright's development in Seattle. Everyone who would be going here is a forward, so it's just really hard to narrow down this pick, but we'll see. That's who I have going there for now. Next up at number 9 overall to the Buffalo Sabres, I have Roger McQueen, the forward from Saski. He just played for the Brandon Wheat Kings. He's 6'5", 192. I feel like this is like a draft full of kind of bigger guys too. A lot of tall people here. He's got a good physical presence. Obviously, he can score well. He's a good puck mover, really good positioning skills, very controlled for a bigger guy. And the only kind of uncertainty here is that he recently had a back injury, kind of makes him a risky player to take in this position. He's very similar in that way to Caden Lindstrom from last year. And so I think he could slip a little bit due to that injury and the uncertainty surrounding it, but I think he will be a very high reward player for any team that's willing to snatch him up at this spot or around here. If he doesn't go here, I think that Jackson Smith is the player that could slip into the top 10. Victor Eklund is also very likely to me. So that's who I have now. I guess we'll see if anyone is willing to take him at that spot or not. And then lastly, this is just a mini mock draft. So we've got the 10th overall pick to the Anaheim Ducks, and I have them taking Radim Murka, who is a Czech defenseman from the Seattle Thunderbirds. He is 6'6", 218. And lots of notes here. Pat Verbeek, to start out with, is just very unpredictable on the draft board, obviously. And the moves he's been making recently and some of the rumors that I've been seeing really adds to this pick for me. Um, take this choice with a grain of salt because of that. And I have seen America all over draft boards. Seriously, I've seen him going to the Blackhawks. I've seen him way lower than this. So I genuinely have no idea where he's going to go, but I do like the idea of starting with a defenseman and ending with one and kind of all the centers and wings in between. It's nice. um, Notes on him, his time when he played in Czechia wasn't the most fantastic, but he did really, really, really well on the Seattle Thunderbirds when he started playing there. So the inconsistency kind of makes him challenging to place, but I have him landing here as a really good skater with a strong hockey IQ. He's good with the puck, it's always on his stick. I don't know that he will be a true one top pairing D, but I think he could complement, Lacombe, Mintyukov, Zellweger, all the people that the Anaheim Ducks currently have on the blue line. However, there are trade rumors kind of circulating around Zellweger right now, and I don't know if any of those are even valid, but I have seen his name come up. And if they do lose a piece like Zellweger, that almost tells me that they may have their eye on Mertka, even if they're going to play on different sides of the line. So I'm not sure if that's the direction they're going to go or not, but that's what I'm going to go with for the Anaheim Ducks. Victor Eklund is the other option here that I think makes a lot of sense for this team, but you never know. We're going to find out soon enough. Um, then just notes on like other first rounders here to look out for that this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but people that you're going to see go in the first round, I strongly believe Victor Eklund, Keyshawn Aitchison, Jackson Smith, Cole Reshny, Sasha Boumediene, he's sick. I watched him play at the Natty, and Malcolm Spence. I don't think any of those guys will drop, but a couple of them might slip into the top 10 if some of the guys I named kind of fall to 11 to 14. So that's my mock draft. I have more notes on it, but is there anything that you want to say before that so I can get a drink of water?
Um, Not really. I mean, I don't, um, I don't know. I haven't really heard too much on any of these guys except for like in the past 2 or 3 weeks because the draft has been coming up. So there's not really anybody that I've had an eye on, I feel like, you know?
Yeah,
I
I
don't pay
mean,
that much attention to
I
the
pro
process.
well, I was gonna say I probably wouldn't pay as much attention if I was a Devils fan, right? You don't have a top 10 pick. So, when's your first pick? I don't even know. I genuinely have no idea.
Great question.
I guess we're gonna find out on Friday. So yeah, there you go. Notes, more notes on the draft for you. Let me find them. Um, okay, a lot of this I've kind of already said, but we'll go over what I haven't. I do think that we're gonna see some surprises. We're gonna see some trades maybe go down, hopefully early. I think that'll be really fun and spice it up a little bit. So we'll see, but it's really challenging to predict who's going where just because so many of these guys play the same position. So obviously last year was like a really defenseman heavy draft. This is definitely a forward heavy draft, and I think the D are very easy to place. Not easy to place, but easier because there's less of them, and I think they are more distinct, especially last year's class. Other kind of notes here. I said this before, but lots of Canadian players in this draft, lots of people from Ontario, whereas in past years, recent years, there's been a lot of USA players and a lot of NCAA guys. So that's, an interesting thing to see here. And now here is my kind of delulu-ness. Not really, but like just things that could happen that I want to talk about that probably won't happen but could happen, so I want to talk about it, right? First is James Higgins, New York child himself, going at number 1 overall. So, not in a delusional way here, but it is kind of a Cinderella story, seeing that he could get drafted 1 overall to his hometown team that he obviously has a lot of pride for, especially because he was the projected number 1 overall pick for the majority of last year. Going into this year, everyone was like, oh yeah, James Higgins, like, that's the guy, right? And then he kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. So obviously a phenomenal playmaker and a very safe choice, but Schaefer has been widely chosen as this draft's finest player. And obviously the Islanders are going to understand that and look at that. My other note is that the Islanders aren't like completely desperate right now for like an insane extreme rebuild. Like they're not good, but it could be worse. And so maybe a forward piece like James Higgins makes sense in their situation where it's not a full rebuild, but it's getting maybe closer to that phase. I'm sure they're going to have more top 10 picks soon, so maybe they're like, well, do we risk getting a James Higgins type of forward who could, add a little bit of youth to this aging lineup and score some goals and be speedy out there with Matt Barzal? I don't know. But that's definitely an option. I can't rule it out and not speak about it because it's interesting. I think if he doesn't go one, he will be dropping to the middle of the top 10, kind of hence my position of him at 5. I think he should go higher than he will if he doesn't go 1. But I do see him as like a really good fit for Nashville if it does happen the way that I have it happening. He's been in that spot on so many draft boards that I've seen recently, but I've also seen him a lot going to the Blackhawks. So I don't know. Guess we're gonna find out. Going off of that, talking about trades a little bit more, I could see the Blackhawks trading up to 2 to ensure Michael Misa. This obviously depends on pick number 1. If James Higgins goes, I don't know if it will be a thing or not because will Misa go second overall still, or will it be Matthew Schaefer? I'm not sure. That's a Kyle Davidson thing. That's why I'm not a GM. But I have already seen rumblings on Davidson having interest in trading up that 3rd overall pick. I don't know who he's gonna go for there for sure, but one has to assume that it's likely Michael Misa. And so as a Hawks fan, I would be more than pleased with that choice, but I am fully satisfied with Frondell or Higgins or who any of those guys, any of these top forward prospects. I obviously don't want a defenseman, but we need a good forward. And I'm happy with whatever Kyle Davidson does. I trust the David plan. And that is my soapbox.
All right. Well, like I said, I don't have any any opinions on that because I feel like I shouldn't. Just like I said earlier. So, yeah. Any other last thoughts that are coming to you now that you didn't have written down?
Not on the draft. We have a little blurb at the end of fun things to look forward to, and that's about it.
Yeah. So, I don't really know if this is fun, but free agency starts on July 1st. I'm scared. Notable free agents as of right now. Obviously, Mitch Marner, we've heard a lot about where he could possibly end up. It is looking, unfortunately, like Vegas, but we don't know. We never know. So keep an eye out. Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, Aaron Ekblad, John Sparrows, Jeff Skinner, Brock Besser. Obviously, all of them have their rumors swirling around. We won't know until July 1st or
Oh,
earlier. Um,
quick thought. I never said this or put it, but I feel like it should be said. That just made me think of Kaner because he's a free agent. He'll be a UFA. Jonathan Taves is going to be playing next season for the Winnipeg Jets. That's super awesome. So glad that he's rehabbed and he's back. Wanted to throw that out there. So happy to see him back in the league and especially for his hometown team. So hopefully, I don't feel like he's going to play for that much longer. Maybe he goes a season or two, but just so glad to see him healthy after his little India retreat. Like he's back. He's doing this thing. He's been posting on Instagram. Like life is better now.
yeah, I don't know why we didn't have that in our notes.
Yeah, it is kind of a big one.
I don't know why that didn't come up. Um, but yeah, free agency July 1st. I feel like a lot of stuff is going to get moved around. But some of those guys could get locked down in the next couple of days. Not looking likely, but it's possible. 2025-26 schedule is coming out on July 16th. I don't think there was a time. I think it's just a date. And it may be up to the discretion of the team also when they post their schedule, how they post it. If you've never really paid attention to a schedule drop before, most teams are going to make a cute little video to drop some of the dates. So keep an eye out for that. Some of them are pretty creative, honestly. Props to every social team out there. They are more creative than I am still. Like I could never. Um, Also, if you didn't know, if you care, I don't know. McKinley cares. World
If
Juniors
you
this
don't
year.
care, like I have a problem with you.
World
Genuinely.
Juniors this year are in Minnesota, which is great because that means we're going. Yeah, okay, anyway.
Let's hope.
December 26th to January 5th, they're going to be Excel Center and what? 3M Center?
3M Arena at
Arena?
Mariucci. The
Arena.
big ice, 200 by 100. I'm still like freaking out about that.
Yeah. So, St. Paul and Minneapolis. That's the name of it. I was not thinking. Okay, yeah. Anyway, ticket packages are on sale right now, but they are expensive. So if you have 2K to drop, go for it. If you don't, like us, you can wait.
It is like the whole package too, and I've made sure the past few years because I've been planning for this, I've looked at the actual like Ticketmaster or wherever you get your tickets the day of the games, and they are still on sale. Like I don't think it's going to sell out, so I think we're good on that.
Right now, what the packages are is you can get all of the games that are played at each arena as a package, and then you can also pay for every single game. And if you pay for just one arena, you still get like all of the semifinal and championship games, even if they're not at that specific arena, those are still included. So
We're not going to be
definitely
able to go.
something,
Go for it.
oh, definitely something to look into if you're interested in that. Lots of prospects there. So
Woo! That's why I love it. We're not going to be able to go for the entirety of everything, but I'm like if we can see the playoffs part and then like one USA game prelim, like one Czechia game, like maybe a Germany in there. Oh, man. I won't
and
need
then stick
anything for the
around
rest of my
because
life.
I want to go to a wild game. I want to experience a home game from every team. Maybe I'm just crazy like that, but I love comparing the experiences of every home arena. So I'm up to 2.
I actually really love that because I want to go to every arena, but I don't necessarily like want to go for the different experiences. And I only have 2 actually. I just have 2. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. I'm at Enterprise Center way too flippin' much.
Yeah.
Anyways, no,
Dallas is much better than Enterprise Center, just
for someone
saying.
who's seen like 12 NHL games, which that's kind of not that great either. For someone who's seen like that many in person though, only going to 2 arenas is really rough.
In our defense, though, where I was living for college, 3 hours away from an NHL team, you're 2 hours away.
And I'm in
Now I'm
KC
six
most of the
hours
time.
away, and I have to go to
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
If I want to go watch
I
hockey, I have to go to a
I
different
just
country.
watch my hockey for hours a day on my TV. I love it in person. You just can't go all the time. There will be a
Right.
time in my life where I can go all the time, but that time is not this second. Um, but no, I like that you like to specifically compare the experiences because I do that also, but like not in the way you do it. I'm more of like, yeah, I just want to like go see the team. You feel me? But like I think it's really cool that you appreciate all of the other things. 'Cause like when she sent me from Dallas, like the star being raised during the anthem, like all that stuff's so cutesy and I really do like that a lot. Um,
I
but you
also just
like that a lot more
enjoy
than I do.
I enjoy seeing the different like traditions that the crowd has, because like the Blues,
Yeah.
they have Towel Man,
Yeah.
and
I love Talman.
the Stars will shout stars during the anthem, and just like all the different things that each different team, like their crowds have just collectively combined and know that they're going to do together as like a thing at every game.
At, at the United Center, that's like my favorite thing ever. If you haven't seen it, like I know you haven't, but if anyone else hasn't been to the UC, like you need to go because it's the most iconic national anthem ever. You stand up and clap and like yell the whole time. Like it is crazy. And then like adding on to that, I can't hear "Oh Canada" without hearing Winnipeg Jets fans screaming True North. Like I just can't, it's True North every single time. I'm like, oh, get it out of my head. But yeah, like those are the things that make it so fun and entertaining and like collaborative, I guess.
Yeah, there was something else that I was thinking about, and I'm like, now I can't think about it. Oh, um, literally, like my first class that I had with that was like my major, like business, not business core, entertainment core class. My teacher's like, okay, we're all gonna read this article called "The Experience Economy," and it was literally just how we're never going to see an experience the same way as a normal person ever again in our entire lives, and it was right.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I am gonna talk a little shit on every event that I ever go to ever again in my life, but that's okay.
that's okay because we're friends and I'm not going to. So she can give me that insight. I think my camera is like doing the thing. There we go. Sorry, it's like risky. It's like creating lines around me. Like my camera on my computer like won't fully stick. It'll start popping out and you'll see like a ring coming around me. I'm like, sorry guys. It's all good. I'm wearing Christmas pajamas too, so it's fine. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's cool that you will be able to talk about those things because I will just have no idea. I'm the normal person, the normal person. So
Yeah.
in reference to the book, not actually.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts before last closing statements?
I don't believe so. As much as I wish I had more to talk about draft wise, I think we will after the fact.
Yeah, we're going to be getting back on a more normal posting schedule. Things just got super hectic. There was a lot of trips and traveling and school that was going on this past semester for both of us, and so it just got extremely extremely insane. Um, Also, our podcast software was not working. We tried another one. It didn't really work very well. So we were scrambling because there's not much out there that's free and we don't make money. So we we're hoping this works. And you get a little bit more of a visual aspect if you're watching this on YouTube. I don't know if that's good or bad for you. I don't know. I zoned out for half of this episode. I knew what was happening, but I didn't look like I did.
I would definitely be looking, and she's like this.
But I'm listening. I know what she said. I'm just
No, I know. I was just like, wow, like she's locked right now.
I just know that I'm not gonna have an opinion after the fact, so I don't need to like fully be locked in. But like I am, but like I'm not. Yeah. But like I was. But yeah, and we have a lot of fun ideas. We literally were talking about this at midnight last night, coming up with ideas for this off-season content, because we had a lot and we used all of them over the last off-season. So we're coming up with more. We're going to be doing some redrafts of previous years and comparing stats to how they were supposed to work out and things like that. What else did we talk about? Random categories to put hockey players in, things like that. Some more fun ideas instead of
rankings.
Yeah, fun opinion-based ideas that are yeah.
Going back and like some of our players got traded, so it's like, okay, who is our favorites now on this team or whatever. I wrote down like 14 ideas that she had given me, so there's a lot of fun things. I know next time or very soon you will be seeing us do some draft recap stuff, talk about free agency, maybe do some draft grading, like that article that they always publish, and I'll make mine different. And then, maybe a good little redraft thrown in there. So things to look forward to for sure. I can look at all of our ideas really quick. I've got it right here. We've talked about doing some more fantasy kind of stuff, maybe even like a mock expansion draft sort of thing. Some very introductory videos to hockey, so maybe some stuff about the divisions and the different positions and getting into hockey and all those different things for people who maybe haven't seen a lot of hockey or are interested in getting into it. And I won't give you all of our ideas right here, but that's just to name a few, some fun things that I think we could be looking forward to. So maybe some slang, some hockey slang. I would love to do that one.
When you can understand it but you can't translate it perfectly, you're like, I know what you said, but I could not tell somebody else what you just said. Yeah. But yeah, that's this month's episode, I guess. I mean, next time it comes out, it's gonna have to be after the 4th of July because I have 7 events next week.
Reagan's she's a big girl, guys. Like, it's crazy.
And I turned 22 and I moved 14 hours away and
all the things, truly.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
And I have an 8 to 5 job. Not even a 9 to 5, an 8 to 5. But
just
it's fine.
Put your Venmo on the screen.
But anyway, that's it for today's episode. So hopefully we've convinced you to come back and watch or listen to our next one because it is going to be a lot better going forward and we're going to be posting normally hopefully. So
and watch the draft.
Yeah, watch the draft Friday, Saturday. Well, mostly just Friday, but listen on Saturday. It's more fun to listen on Saturday than
follow an article. Just you got this.
Yeah. I think if you have the ESPN draft or the ESPN app, it will automatically refresh a draft for you. It'll keep your draft picks up to date. So, see you guys next time, I guess.
This has been a true Midwest goodbye. We will see you very soon.
Well, it's time to go.
All right. 30 minutes later, we're actually opening the door. Like,
see y'all next time.